say I apologize to the Detroit fans because I've always been a Detroit fan since last year. I was the first one on the bandwagon or whatever. But I said he was out of the MVP conversation, and that's a lie.
Yeah.
That's a lie. He's the front runner for the MVP.
Damn.
Because his team, he has no other star. Everybody else got legit stars on their team. He's the only star. Nobody else on their team gonna be even considered. I mean, Darren, whatever his name is.
Jalen Duran.
He might be considered for an All-Star this year, but it ain't like guaranteed. He's the only guaranteed bona fide star on that team. Everybody else, Jalen Williams, all defensive, all NBA, Shea, Chet, LeBron, Luka, Austin Reeves, everybody got considerations. He's the only one where you look at a second player and you be like, because he could get in an argument with Cat. Like, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
It could be him and Cat. It could be him and whoever else left in the East, Giannis or whatever, even though Giannis been out. He might get lost in it or whatever. Mm-hmm. He the only bona fide star, and he got this team, one of the top teams in the whole league. They got 5 losses.
Yeah. Getting to it right now.
He definitely should be in the top 1 or 2 in MVP. For me, he's number 1 just because he don't got no help. And I'm not disrespecting their team. I'm just saying as far as like stars.
All right, let's talk about Cade. We heard what Jeff Teague said about Cade Cunningham. And I'm kind of gonna get into this in the second half about not having a second star, which Duran is stepping up. He didn't have a great day. He didn't have a great day versus Boston, but nonetheless, right now he doing it. He balling, playing at his own pace, facilitating, scoring, making everybody around him better. Pretty much, he doing what LaMelo Ball is expected to do. What Trae Young was expected to do, and he hooping. He hooping. So I really can't, dispute him saying that he should be the front runner MVP because of the impact that he having on the league is just monumental. On the Pistons, excuse me. They winning. They was the worst team. What they had won 13 games. He persevered. Some of the comments that you see from fans wherever they from, no foul baiting, real skills. Not traveling. He's playing basketball the way it's supposed to be played. So, these are our fans that's in the comment section saying these things. So, for Jeff Teague to realize that, and that most of the people on that panel, like Behan, they was expecting that Orlando would take that step. I thought Orlando would take this step in the right direction. It hasn't happened. Am I surprised Boston is still as good as they are? Not really. They still got Derek White. Jaylen Brown is a fantastic player. They got a few other guys over there. Lost Horford. Obviously JT out, Jason Tatum out. Feel like they lost some Porzingis. He got injured. He has some type of illness down there in Atlanta right now. So he been out. So a lot of the decisions they made, they still a good basketball team. You still got Jaylen Brown, who I believe was a top 5 pick. So they found a way to get it done in Boston. And but Cade is just hooping. Hard to defend him with the size. He make the game a lot easier for everybody else. And it's just that, and even though when he don't impact the game scoring, he still impacts the game, regardless. So that's the beauty of it. So yeah, he should be the front runner right now. Look what he done. Even though to the outside, world, names are everything. You look at Denver's Jamal Murray, Jokic, Aaron Gordon, Cam, what's my man's down? We all want to hear Cam Johnson not playing well over there, but it was a guy that we all want to hear. You look at LA, they still got, Luka, Reeves, LeBron, Look at the Clippers, Harden, Kawhi, and a few other guys over there. So, we start getting into, these having these conversations. Yeah, I mean, it counts. You're valuable. You're most valuable doesn't mean the best player is just the most valuable player in the league. So if you take him off that team, what do the Pistons have? That's a great question. What do the Pistons have? You take him off of that team. So his ability to just impact on both sides of the floor. He balling defensively, balling offensively, facilitating. I mean, but that's why I came up with. I was telling y'all they need one more piece, and y'all saying like, oh, they don't need one more piece. They're fine, and they do need one more piece. That's why I keep telling y'all that. They need somebody that's going to flat out score. It doesn't have to be a Giannis or Anthony Davis. And I hear a lot of people anti-Giannis. I don't know why. We can get one of the top 2 or 3 players in the league. If you can get it, you can get it. You know what I'm saying? Anthony Davis, definitely understand where y'all coming from there. But regardless, they need a professional scorer. They don't have one on the roster. They need a professional scorer. Whether it's a Kyrie, Zach LaVine, whether it's, somebody that can stretch that floor, that can get a bucket. You want to go on the extreme side of things? Trae Young, I'm just going extreme. You need somebody where the defense can't just say, let's get Cade Cunningham, let's make him a facilitator and force everybody else to beat me. You force Zach LaVine to beat you, he gonna beat you. You force Malik Monk to beat you more times than not, he gonna beat you. You just need that relief valve as a scorer. You force Lauri Markkanen to beat you, you're gonna leave him open. Guess what? He gonna beat you. That's what y'all don't really see right now in the playoff series. They're gonna do what the Knicks did, take the ball out of Cade's hand, and they're gonna force somebody else to beat them. Who on this team can you force to beat them? Tobias have one good game in the series, but you're pretty much banking that Ivy is going to be that guy. But guess what? If Ivy's not that guy and you lose him for nothing in the offseason, you lose Tobias Harris for nothing in the offseason, you can't get a sign and trade. Now is the time where they must upgrade. The cap is in your favor. The players, the contracts that you have is in your favor, and the assets are in your favor. Now, if you really believe somebody throughout this season is going to basically grow into that guy as a scorer, which the best guy would be Ivy, then you do that. But in my opinion, if I can get somebody for the low ski like a Zach LaVine, or I can get somebody for the solid price like Malik Monk, or I can get, a Cam Thomas for the low. If I can get one of these guys for the low that I know, maybe if it's a guy like Kyrie, I can get a guy like that and I know he gonna be good for 25, 30 a game. That's what you looking for. Give me some defensive effort, move the ball a little bit, but I just need you to come score. Cade gonna do the rest. Duran gonna continue to grow where he gonna grow. But that's what the fans don't see. They watching the regular season games and they just looking at, but they don't see the last 160 meters where it gotta be a sprint. They don't see basketball the way I see it, in the way it's going to fold out. You've seen it versus New York Knicks. Schroeder bailed them out a lot in that series. You know what I'm saying? Right now, Karis LeVert ain't knocked that rust off, but you need that bona fide guy, whether it's extremes, Trae Young, to the extreme, or is it some, prop veteran, they just want to roll that contract off with Zach LaVine, or whether it's somebody in the mid-tier like Malik Monk. You know what I'm saying? That's what you need. You need a professional scorer, and that's what they missing. That way, Cade can't get double teamed like that. You know what I'm saying? They can't fuck. Duran is doing what he's supposed to do. So now when they run that double team at Cade, you know what I'm saying? Duran is going to provide relief. But in retro, and look right now, what they need to do is this. One, they need somebody that's going to play that Tobias spot, that's going to defend that spot. And at least they're going to be able to shoot it at a very high clip from that spot, whether it's, Michael Porter Jr. is not going to be the defensive guy Tobias is going to be. That scares me. The kid from New Orleans will be. Trey Murphy, that's great. PJ Washington, he pretty much shoot it at probably the same clip as, to Tobias. I mean, that's Tobias, but okay, a little bit younger, already paid in the shade. He already got paid. So you really looking for somebody like Lloyd Markin? That's cool. He don't really defend it, but he can make it up a point. But then at the wing, you just need somebody that can score. You know, Kobe White, Cam Thomas, Malik Beasley, Trey Young. You need a professional scorer. You know, and that's the help that he needs. But I hit the link in the description. Definitely agree with Jeff Teague. Follow me on X, Facebook, Kick, Instagram. Everything inside the link tree is the first link in the description. Check out Detroit Pistons Talk playlist. Peace.